The ceasefire is calling. Can you hear it through the noise? The ceasefire is calling. A map spread out on a mahogany table, dividing the earth while the foundation's unstable. You call it protection, you call it alone, but you're planting your flag on a soil not your own. From the hills of the east to the desert's red sand, there's a shadow that's stretching all over the land. The bully is hungry, the bully wants more, turning every resource into a theater of war. And the markets are bleeding, the currencies fall, while you build up your empire behind a high wall. You don't see the hunger, you don't feel the cold, you're just counting the silver and hoarding the gold. The ceasefire is calling. Can you hear it through the noise? Break the chains of hegemony, set the world free from the greed of the few and the false liberty. You're choking the commerce, you're starving the street, just to keep every nation beneath your own feet. No more stolen riches, no more puppet strings. Hear the silent defiance that justice now brings. In the heart of the canyon where the oil veins run, a nation stands firm in the heat of the sun, defending their rights, defending their name, while you label them villains to cover your shame. Your sanctions are weapons, your words are a cage, writing history's blood on a blackened out page. But the gears are a grind and the supply chain is torn, a global disaster from your arrogance born. Put down the weapons, give back the choice. Break the chains of hegemony, set the world free from the greed of the few and the false liberty. You're choking the commerce, you're starving the street, just to keep every nation beneath your own feet. No more stolen riches, no more puppet strings. Hear the silent defiance that justice now brings. Guns don't feed the children, power doesn't heal the sick. You're playing with fire and a very short wick. The world is a circle, not a line you can own. When the bottom collapses, you'll fall from your throne. Break the chains of hegemony, set the world free from the greed of the few and the false liberty. You're choking the commerce, you're starving the street, just to keep every nation beneath your own feet. No more stolen riches, no more puppet strings. Hear the silent defiance that justice now brings. The ceasefire is calling. Can you hear it through the noise? Put down the weapons, give back the choice. Put down the weapons, the ceasefire is calling. A line in the sand, drawn with ancestral ink. They push us to the edge, they want us to blink, but our roots run deeper than the reach of their hand. We are the guardians of a sacred land. You call it threat, we call it home. You say your fleets through our ancient foam, but the heart that is free cannot be bought or crushed by the wars that your arrogance wrought. Sanctions and shadows, they lock every gate, but they can't stop a spirit that's stronger than fate. You hold the world's breath in a tightening grip, but the mast of your empire starting to slip. This is our sovereign defiance, our voice in the storm, a fire for justice that's keeping us warm. We won't trade our dignity for a bully's peace until the chains of your interference cease. For every right stolen, for every lie told, our history is written in spirit, not gold. You speak of freedom from a mountain of glass, while you watch the world's economy shatter and pass. Our markets are empty, our children nothing, because you've traded our lives for a geopolitical win. But there's a dignity in the sovereign defiance, our voice in a storm of fire for justice that's keeping us warm. We won't trade our dignity for a bully's peace until the chains of your interference cease. For every right stolen, for every lie told, our history is written in spirit, not gold. Respect is the bridge, not the wall. Without it, the mighty are destined to fall. Sovereign, defiant, still standing. The ticker tape bleeds in the shade of deep red, while the kings of the world are tucked into bed. They're moving the pieces, they're closing the ports, treating our lives like they're personal sports. One ego flares up, a continent shakes. The fuel prices soar for their private mistakes. They talk about strategy over their wine, while the rest of the world waits in the bread line. It's a domino effect, a house built of cards, scattered like ash in the palace backyard. The borders are closed, but the hunger spreads wide. This is the tax on your national pride. The price of your pride is a word on its knees, trading our future for your war overseas. The currencies crash while the missiles take flight, leaving the billions to shiver in the night. You're winning the battle, but losing the soul of a global connection you'll never control. The supply chains are broken, the tankers are still held hostage by nothing but one leader's will. From the east to the west, the inflation takes hold, turning our silver to dross into mold. You say it's for honor, you say it's for right, but the shadows of poverty blot out the light. A mother is counting the coins in her hand, while your grand ambition devours the land. Era Gulo, what is the gain when the harvest is nothing but sorrow and rain? The world is a body and we're all the same blood, but you're drowning the spirit in a gasoline flood. The price of your pride is a word on its knees, trading our future for your war overseas. The currencies crash while the missiles take flight, leaving the billions to shiver in the night. You're winning the battle, but losing the soul of a global connection you'll never control. A bill is coming due. Bill is coming due, and it's signed by the ghost of the innocent too. Lower the flags, lower the ego, before there's nothing left to save. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. The stove is cold, the pantry's bare. A heavy silence fills the air. The morning news is a tally of lead, while a mother is tallying loaves of bread. The weak is trapped behind a line of steel, a casualty of a greater deal. The ports are blocked by a titan's ego, while the hunger grows where the shadows go. You call it leverage, you call it force, but you've knocked the world off its natural course. The gears of the market are rusted with tears, and the harvest is lost to a harvest of fears. Empty plates and cold, cold hearts. This is where your glory starts, while you're fighting for a piece of the map. The world is falling through the gap. The stomach doesn't care for your border or name. It only knows the hunger and the burning shame of a child who asks why, while the sirens scream in the wreckage of a global dream. From the plains of the west to the Persian sun. The sickness spreads when the work isn't done. Inflation is a fever that burns through the town while you're busy tearing the monuments down. Our father's hands are calloused and dry, reaching for a hope that the powers deny. Your sanctions are scars on the skin of the poor, a quiet execution behind a closed door. Diera, Gutam, Sakik, war, hunger, pain, the trinity of a world in retreat. You're building your heaven on a foundation of hell, but there's no one left to buy what you sell. Empty plates and cold hearts. This is where your glory starts. While you're fighting for a piece of the map, the world is falling through the gap. The stomach doesn't care for your border or name. It only knows the hunger and the burning shame of a child who asks why, while the sirens scream in the wreckage of a global dream. Put down the fork, put down the gun. The damage is done. The damage is done. A signature scrawled on a heavy decree, a peaceful way to bring a nation to its knee. You don't need a bomb, but you don't need a tank when you can freeze the blood in a global bank. The ink is a poison that flows through the sea, choking the trade of the brave and the free. You call it justice, a civilized blow, but you're reaping the harvest you didn't even sow. The shelves are getting thinner in the corner store. The medicine is stuck behind the bolted door, while the giants are arguing over the right. The innocent are shivering in the sanctioned shadows night, locked in the shadows of a digital war, where the poor pay the price for the ego of the czar. You're strangling the lifeline, you're cutting the cord, using the ledger as a sharpened sword. From the streets of Tehran to the world's furthest end, who is the enemy and who is the friend? When the bread is a luxury and the lights are all dim in the sanctioned shadows, where the chances are slim. Where the chances are slim. Hey! Hey! The factories are silent, the spirits are worn. A nation is punished for the day it was born. You say it's the regime you're trying to break, but it's the grandmother's heart that's starting to ache. While the bully sits high on a mountain of gold, protecting the interest that they've already sold. The world is a prisoner of a dollar sign cage, a hostage to a superpower's righteous rage. Justicia, no, this is slow motion pain, an economic desert with no sign of rain. You think you're a hero, you think you're a king, but you're just pulling a different kind of string. Locked in the shadows of a digital war, where the poor pay the price for the ego of the czar. You're strangling the lifeline, you're cutting the cord, using the ledger as a sharpened sword. From the streets of Tehran to the world's furthest end, who is the enemy and who is the friend? When the bread is a luxury and the lights are all dim in the sanctioned shadows, where the chances are slim. The ink is dry, but the children still cry. Break the shadows, let the world breathe. You sit in a room where the air is refined, with the cold calculating and colonial mind. You scan the horizon for a wealth not your own, turning someone's backyard into your combat zone. You play with the borders like lines in the sand, with the manifest destiny guide in your hand. But your help has a hook and your gift has a price, and you roll in the world like a handful of dice. It's all on the ledger, it's all in the black. You stab a whole nation in the center of the back. receipts of the bodies you weighed in the bully's leisure. We're just numbers and dead. A world full of people you're happy to forget. You're stealing the diamond, you're siphoning oil while the blood of the innocent soaks in the soil. Close the book on the greed, tear the pages apart. There's no room for mercy in a billionaire's heart. But the ink is starting to run into smear in the bully's ledger of profit and fear. You target the defiant, you target the proud. You try to silence the ones who speak loud. Human rights is the slogan you wear like a mask, while you drain every drop from a sovereign cash. From the mines to the markets, you want the control, but you can't put the tax on the country's soul. The USA brand is a shadow of dread when it's built on the backs of the hungry and dead. You call it security, we call it theft. Look at the ruins of the nations you've left. You're a titan, a paper, a giant, a lies, but the sun's gonna set on your corporate skies. In the bully's ledger, we're just numbers and dead. A world full of people you're happy to forget. You're stealing the diamonds, you're siphoning oil while the blood of the innocent soaks in the soil. Close the book on the greed, tear the pages apart. There's no room for mercy in the billionaire's heart. But the ink is starting to run into smear in the bully's ledger of profit and fear. The balance is shifting, the debt is unpaid. The bully is trembling of the world he has made. Tankers are waiting in the straits, narrow throat, while the generals are counting the ballads they bought. Deep in the earth where the black river flows, the seeds of a conflict that nobody sows. You're thirsty for crude, you're thirsty for power, but the clock on the wall strikes the final hour. You're filling the barrels, you're filling the tanks, while the world's at the mercy of the shadow of banks. A gallon of fuel for a gallon of life, cutting the globe with the geopolitical knife. The price at the pump is a number you see, but the price in the street is a world on its knees. It's blood for oil and tears for bread, feeding the fire while the hungry are bled. You're drilling for riches in the garden of grief, while the common man begs for a moment's relief. The smoke from the wells and the dust from the floor, it's the same old story of a rich man's war. Blood for oil, tears for bread. The wheat fields are burning, the silos are dry, while the predator drones are a scar in the sky. You say that the mission is freedom and light, but you're keeping the third world in a permanent night. From the shores of the Gulf to the markets of old, humanity's traded for a liquid of gold, while a child in the village is crying for grain. You're washing your hands in the oil slick rain. Tierra para sa yaman, war for wealth, gutom para sa bayan, hunger for the people. You're burning the harvest to fuel the machine, the most selfish war that the world's ever seen. It's blood for oil and tears for bread, feeding the fire while the hungry are bled. You're drilling for riches in the garden of grief, while the common man begs for a moment's relief. The smoke from the wells and the dust from the floor, it's the same old story of a rich man's war. Blood for oil, tears for bread. You can't drink the oil when the water is red. You can't eat the gold when the farmers are dead. Blood for oil, tears power is out. There's a sound that is louder than the general shout. It's the rattle of chains in the sanctioned land. It's the shaking of a dry and empty hand. They talk about peace in the marble hall while they're painting our names on the memorial wall. But the dust of the ruins has a story to tell of a heaven they promised that turned into hell. Can you hear the vibration in the cold night air? The sound of a million people in prayer is traveling over the oceans and hills, through the smoke of the factories and the silence of mills. These are the echoes of the oppressed, a world that is tired, a world without rest. You can bury our voices in the shallow grave, but you can't kill the hunger for the lives we should have. From the heart of the east to the soul of the south, the truth is escaping from a starving mouth. We are the echoes of the oppressed. The echoes of the oppressed. Yeah. They call us the collateral, they call us the cost. Just a line in the ledger for a war that they lost. But we are the builders, the mothers, the sons, who are tired of living in the shadow of guns. You stole the justice, you hijacked the right to live in the sun and to sleep through the night. But the echoes are gathering, the echoes are loud, like a thunderstorm building in a dark, heavy cloud. Justicia para sa lahat. Wait for the day when the giants will fall. The earth is too small for a bully's greed, but big enough to give us the peace that we need. These are the echoes of the oppressed, a world that is tired, a world without rest. You can bury our voices in the shallow grave, but you can't kill the hunger for the lives we should have. From the heart of the east to the soul of the south, the truth is escaping from a starving mouth. We are the echoes of the oppressed. The echoes of the oppressed. Oh, the whisper is growing. The secret is out. The word is waking up. Oh, with a unified shout. Bum 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 bum. Da 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 dum. The fuse was lit in a distant land by a greedy heart in a trembling hand, but the spark traveled fast across the sea to the kitchen of a family that used to be free. The stocks are tumbling like autumn leaves, while the widow of a soldier silently grieves. You thought the border would contain the fire, but you built a world on a funeral pyre. It's a chain reaction, a broken link. The ship of the world is starting to sink. You pulled the trigger for a strategic gain, but you flooded the globe with a tidal wave of pain. This is the global aftershock, the crashing of the gears, the sound of a century drowning in tears. The markets are hollow, the spirit is torn in the cold grey light of a desolate morn. You broke the balance, you shattered the trust. Now the gold of the empire's turned into rust. The aftershock, it's coming for us all. Ooh, 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 hey, hey. Da, 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 da. The ports are ghost towns, the ships are at bay, while the currencies wither and rot away. From the plains of the west to the Persian sands, the hunger is reaching with invisible hands. You call it containment, you call it a test, but the fever is spreading from the east to the west. The price of a loaf is the price of a life in a world that is cut by a superpower's knife. Gayera Sata, Hirap Sababa, they only play the game while the people are raw. It's a lawless world under a bully's law. The ground is shaking, the towers are lean, the biggest disaster the world's ever seen. This is the global aftershock, the crashing of the gears, the sound of a century drowning in tears. The markets are hollow, the spirit is torn in the cold grey light of a desolate morn. You broke the balance, you shattered the trust. Now the gold of the empire's turn into rust. The aftershock, it's coming for us all. The dust is settling, but the ground is still cracked. There's no going forward and no going back. Yeah. The stars are obscured by a veil of gray. The ghosts of the cities are drifting away. No more press releases, no more grand designs. Just the silence that follows the closing of lines. The maps have been burned and the ink has run dry. Under the weight of a smoke-filled sky, the bully is weary, the defender is scarred, and the heart of the world is battered and barred. Is this the victory you wanted to buy? With the hollowed out earth and the blackened out sky, the gold is all useless when the water is gone. We're all just survivors waiting for dawn. Raise the white flag at midnight, let the cannons go cold. Give back the future that you've already sold. No more interest, no more might, just the breath of the living in the middle of the night. Let the borders dissolve, let the hunger subside. Lay down the weapons and lay down the pride. Before the last candle is flickered and blown, raise the white flag and come back home. Whoa, raise the white flag and come back home. From the streets of Tehran to the halls of the West, let the mothers and children finally rest. We don't want your empire, we don't want your throne. We just want a world we can call our own. Repair the broken, heal the deep vein. Wash away the oil and the blood with the rain. Justice is coming, but it won't look like war. It looks like a hand opening a door. Ceasefire, let the world breathe. Ceasefire, let the sword find its sheath. The economy's broken, the spirit